This instructional video will show you the basic operation of the Equalizer Python. The Python is a revolutionary product designed specifically to remove auto glass from vehicles without causing damage to the pinch weld.
There are many different ways that you can use the Python system. In this video, we'll be using a technique that utilizes cord and other supporting products. So let's get started. There's been much discussion in the industry of what to use when cutting a windshield out: square wire or a cord.
Square is a square steel wire that will cut through the toughest removal with ease.
The advantages of using wire is that it's made out of steel, it's very strong, has 4 sharp edges. As it's plowing its way through the urethane, there's always a fresh, sharp edge, and so it's cutting through the urethane with ease.
Ripcord is a strong, woven fiber designed specifically for use with the Python system.
As you're pulling the cord through, it tightens up, gets thinner, and now you have less resistance. But tightening up also gives it strength. The snake eyes is a borescope that allows me to see what is underneath the windshield. Sometimes there's hidden clips or body seams that might be a problem when making my cuts with wire or cord. So let me show you how this works.
After powering on the snake eyes, insert the lighted end of the flexible shaft into the pinch weld area. Move the unit along until the clip shows on the screen. On both sides of the vehicle, mark where the clip is located by drawing indicators on the glass. Use a pinch weld prep tool on both sides of the vehicle to cut the marked clips so that the cord or wire can pass through this area and cut the urethane. Insert the wire starter through the urethane near the corner of the passenger side of the windshield. Pull the wire starter back slightly to reveal the wire loop on the outside of the vehicle. Put both ends of your pre-measured cord through the loop, then pull the wire starter completely out of the urethane and into the vehicle.
You want to make sure you make a few knots at the end of the cord so that you can attach it to the Python by sliding the cord into the notch and then giving the Python 3 to 4 turns.
Attaching wire to the Python is very easy. Find the pilot hole located in the winding area of the Python. Insert the wire into the hole and wind the wire around the Python a few times.
Now that I have the slither in place, the slither is what helps me make my cuts around the bottom corners and top corners as I'm pulling my cord or wire with a Python. This makes cutting corners easy. I also want to make sure that I keep the wire against the glass, and then I want to make sure that I keep the angle as close as possible. So let me show you how it's done. I'm going to go ahead and put the cord or wire around the spool of the slither. Now, we're going to go on the outside of the vehicle, and we're going to go ahead and thread the wire or the cord around the perimeter. When cutting the bottom of the windshield, sometimes the wire or the cord can go beyond the glass and touch the pinch weld. So we're going to use the wire guide pins to assure that the wire or the cord stays against the glass.
Whether you are using wire or cord for your removals, make sure that you secure the wire or cord behind the molding at the corner of the glass.
Now we're going to use the snake eyes to make sure that our wire or cord is between the windshield and the pinch weld. We do this so that we make sure that the cord or wire doesn't get below the pinch weld and breaks during the process of cutting the windshield out.
On some vehicles, the molding can be tight against the body, so it may be necessary to break this seal loose using an installation stick.
Now that we have the cord or wire installed underneath the molding, we're going to go ahead and lace the rest of it around the perimeter of the windshield.
Although it can be used with ripcord, the Venom wire dispenser was designed to keep all types of wire tightly spooled while being laced behind the molding.
Now that the Python is in place, I also want to make sure that the anchor tab is facing in the same direction of the wire or cord that I pulled in, and make sure that it's anchored to the tab. I'm going to tie a knot at the end of the cord, like so. Then I will make a loop, and this loop will go through the anchor tab. Then I'll pull it in, and it locks itself in place.
You can use the wire or cord anchor to secure the opposite end of the cord or wire onto the glass.
Now that we're ready to make our cuts, there's a couple things that we want to remember. We want to make sure that we use a dash protector to make sure that the wire or cord is against the glass. And when we're pushing the Python, if we feel tension, we want to relax it, put pressure, relax it. Just make sure that the cord or the wire is not making contact with the pinch weld or maybe a stop or clip. You feel the pressure in the center where the puck is. You want to relax it, and push it, relax it, and push it. So this way it cuts through that heavy puck of urethane. We position the dash protector going to the other side. But before I do that, I want to check on this side of the windshield, make sure the cord is underneath and it's not hung up in the pinch weld. Okay, everything looks good. This particular model, because of the uneven pinch weld, I just wanted to make sure that the wire had not, or cord had not moved on me. I'm going to move the slither slightly so that I can get my dash protector between the glass and the dash, making sure that the wire doesn't come in contact with the trim panel or the dashboard. Now that I've gone beyond that point, I'm going to go ahead and go up to the corner. And I'm going to use an installation stick to make sure that I keep the wire away from the trim, keeping it against the glass. Now, in some cases, if the slither starts to become a little too close to the A-pillar, you can just move it over. And this way, it allows you to work your stick or maybe your hand, if you're going to use your hand to push against the wire, or the cord. Okay. I'm going to move to the center, more or less, so that this way I make sure that because of the curvature of the windshield, I don't want my cord to come in contact with the headliner. I also want to make sure that the clips that I release, I want to make sure that I get the wire against the at all times so that I make sure that it bypasses that clip. And as I said, relax it gently, keeping pressure on it. Okay, I'm going to go the opposite side. I already went around the corner and I've bypassed the placement clip or pin that is attached to the windshield and is placed in the hole on the body. I'm going to give myself some cord or wire if I'm using wire. In this case, I'm using the rip cord. I'm going to move my Python again. I'm going to place the dash protector on the corner just in case the anchor wire might start to also move. Again, I have my marks here for my clip. I want to make sure I keep that wire against the clip at all times. Keep the wire against the windshield at all times, the cord, so that this way I make sure that I bypass that clip. As you notice, the anchor wire is starting to move, so there's a possibility that the anchor wire will also start to cut. And that's why I want to put the dash protector in place. Now, sometimes you can use your hand or your fingers, so make sure that you're wearing safety gloves or gloves where the wire or the cord won't hurt you. Again, you can also use an installation stick. Relax it slightly. Make sure that my dash protector is in between dash into glass, and that my wire goes behind it. I'm going to move my Python so that I can move my cord and give me that right angle that I need to be able to cut the last portion of the windshield. This is one of the reasons why we have the curved bar, so this way it stays away from the trim panels or the A-pillars. And as you can see, both wires are starting to move. I want to make sure that I keep my dash protector in place at all times. Keep your hand against the dash protector and just put steady pressure. And there you are. The windshield is cut out.
As you can see, the Python system is very easy to use. Although the system is much different than using power tools, the Python gives you the added benefit of saving the glass, saving moldings, and eliminating any damage to the pinch weld. If you have any questions, please contact us.